Hello and welcome to the coding demo for lecture 18. So in this lecture, we are going to update our search component so that it can work with the NoSQL database rather than working with a local file. Okay, so I'll give you the coding repository through the GitHub, both the front end and the back end. Okay, so we'll start what we have left in our previous class. So if I go to the VS Code, and then, so we created two repositories, front end and back end. So let's go to the back end and we'll start the back end first. Okay. So we can create an integrated terminal here. And then, so if you clone it, make sure that you write npm install. So you need to write npm install if you clone first time, and then it will install all the dependencies. But since I already installed the dependencies, so I can just run. Okay, so how to run is basically package.json will say that how to run. So it's write npm run server. Okay, so that's the server we need to run. So write npm run server. And then it says the server is running. Okay, so now let's go. And so we basically don't need to do at the backend thing today. So we'll just do the front end component. So let's create another terminal for the front end, and then how we can run the front end. So you always need to run the backend first, okay? So that server is running. And now here we'll check, okay, so if I check the package.json to say that how to run, is basically see the script and write npm start. Okay, so write npm start. And it should start. Oh, let me bring the display here. Okay, so it's running, right? Okay, so now if I click here, it shows all the students based on our database. And then if I click here, it shows the details. Now, if I click the search, and then if I write anything, and then it basically shows something which is coming from our file, local file, so not from the database, okay? Thus we need to modify, okay? So let's go and do the modification, okay? So basically we just need to modify the search component. So let's bring our search component here. So search.javascript, and let's collapse this side so that we can get more space. So here we need to change, right? So this is the student device is coming from a local file. Let's remove this. And then we will import a helper function to fetch the database, right? So which we will take the help from the API helper function. So this one, right? So we basically fetch all the students, and then after that, we'll search locally. Okay, so we need this function. So we'll go and import this. Inside the search component, we write import get students. Okay, so it's basically will be this is import. So from where we are getting it. Okay, so we need to find the location of it. So API and compressor are at the same place. So it should be just write this and then API helper functions. So we'll find this one. Okay, so that's easy. Now we'll write some control variable, right? So right now we don't have a control variable. So this is what we have that we created previously when we create the Reactor routers, the GitHub repository, right? So now let's create some, so like constant students, which basically to put all the students, set students, and then we write useState. Okay, so we need the useState, and then, and the VS Code helped me to get the useState, so we need to import useState here, right? Okay, so we initialize to an empty array. Okay, so that's our set student. we also want to set error message, so write error message, and then we write set error message, and we initialize this to an empty message. And then we also want to give the isLoading the message to the user. So we write initialize to as false. Okay. So these are the things, right? These are the initialization. We also need the useEffect hook because we need to load all the students from the database. Okay. So we will we'll use the useEffect. Okay. So first you need fetch all the students. Okay. So you write useEffect is a function, and then we'll have a callback function here. Okay, and then we'll have an empty array. Okay, so that's our useEffect. Let's see that useEffect. Okay, so useEffect came from the React. Okay, so we need to import it. Okay, make sure that if VS Code is help you, that's fine. Otherwise, you need to manually import them. Okay, so now here we are going to write our function. Okay, so asynchronous function, because we are going to call an asynchronous function is that get students. So that's an asynchronous function if you see. So this is an asynchronous function. So if you want to call this asynchronous function, okay, so we need to create an asynchronous function, which basically calling that one, okay? And we can use the await keyword. Since the useEffect cannot be asynchronous, so we're creating a separate function here. Okay, so we write asynchronous function, and then we say write fetch students. Basically, it's basically fetch all the students, irrespective of the student ID. And here we, before fetching, we can reinitialize everything. So we write set students, and then we'll say set student initialize to an empty array, and set error message will initialize the error message to an empty string, and then set loading, set is loading will initialize to true condition. Since now we are going to fetch it. So now we are going to call, so I'll say constant response. So you're using await keyword. And when you are going to use await keyword, the function must be asynchronous. Okay, so that's another important thing. And then we write get students functions. Okay, so, and then if the response is okay, response.okay is true, then we'll do something else. We'll do the other thing, which is basically we'll set the error message. Set error message is that fetching students was unsuccessful, whatever the message you want to generate, and you can show it. Okay. Now here we will take a constant result is we'll use another await so that we can get a JSON format data from the response. So we write response.json. So this part is very similar that we did for the students route. Okay, I'm just typing it again so that you get more and more familiar with this thing. Okay, so after that you get the results, and then you can write set students with the result. Basically, it is the set of students in a JSON format, and then we assign that in here. Okay, so this part is fetching. Now we need to search. Okay, so we already have used the search param, right? So search param is a hook, use search param hook, and then we initialize this one to the properties name, and then it's empty. Okay, so initializes that when the user did not write anything for finding a name. But when the user will write anything, then we need to do it, right? So let's say that we will modify this part is that search for a student. Okay, search not just for the students, it's basically how many students are matched. Okay, so we can write, it could be just a single student, or it could be multiple student, or it could be no student. Okay, so here, this is our search text, right? And then here, since we already have a student variable here, so we can write as searched students. Okay, and we say that search student is initially an empty array. And then here, instead of writing this, we can just write the search text because we need the lowercase one. So we write if the search text is true, okay, and then we'll come inside. And then here, we basically will search from our students, okay? And then other thing that initially, we instead of giving the empty array, we can say that, okay, everything is there, okay? So since we did not start typing and then student name, so initially it shows all the students in the list. And then when you have some search keyword, and then it will filter out, okay? So, and here we'll give it to the searched students. Okay, so search students will be based on the students.filter student and student.name two lowercase include the search text. Okay, so you see that two lowercase, so that it is a work is a case insensitive way. Okay, so I think searching is done. Let's go and modify some part that we need to know. Okay, so let's say that if you want to generate the error message, so write error message dot length is greater than 0. It means that it's non-empty string. Then we write a conditional rendering here is that just generate. Oh, so the error message we can do it later. Okay, but since we wrote it, it just complete this one. We can generate this error message wherever you want to generate it. I mean, basically rendering it. I can render it at the end of this one. So, okay, so we can generate here. So we'll render here. But I want to also, so isLoading I can show at the top. Okay, so it's basically up to you where you want to display those messages, okay, based on your designing. IsLoading is true, then we'll just generate some text so that user can see that loading is happening. Okay, so that's for the isLoading. Otherwise, you basically, coming to the form, and then in the form, so this is the same thing. We are not going to change it. So if there is any change happen, and then you assign those changes to the name property, and then assign this value to the value field for this input type, so that user can see that what you are typing. Okay. And then students.length is greater than 0 means that at least one student we have, and then we can map based on the search students. Okay, so we can write searched students. Okay, so initially it basically shows all the students, but then it will map to the search students. Okay, the search students, so make sure that they are same. Okay, and then map, and then I don't want to show the student ID, but here the ID will be different because this is coming from the MongoDB generated ID, so it should be underscore as a prefix, and then student name. Okay, so this is the link to the student name, so that's why we also need the link component, which is coming from the React Router DOM, so you need to import that one as well. Okay, so I think we are almost done. So we can quickly check that whether it's working, or if there is an error, we can also see how to tackle those errors. Okay. So let's go to, okay, so localhost 8080, and then we can see the students search, and then, okay. So search initially showing nothing. Okay, so we need to see why the search is not showing anything, right? Okay, so if student was land greater than so students initially is empty, but then set students, so useEffect is here. Oh, we did not call the fetch students. Okay, so that's the function we need to call. Okay, so we need to call this function. Because of this, it's not getting anything. Okay, so the fetch students, so inside the useEffect, basically just define the function, but we are not calling it, right? So now if I check that, refresh, and now it shows all the students, right? So if I say search, okay, and then if I write in, okay. Oh, the another thing is that it shows the isLoading is always true. We also need to flag it down. So that's the another thing that we need to do. As soon as the fetching is done, then we'll say, so it's at the end of this function, which is in here, I'll say is false. Okay, so when you type, you may get error, but you need to know how to handle those error. Okay, so no worries about when you see the errors. Set is loading is false. Now there's another typo is here, loading. Okay, now let's see. Okay, I refresh. Okay, search. Oh, okay. See, did I put the false instead of true? Yeah, set is loading is false. Initially it was true. Okay, so now I see that when I click search, it basically shows now there is no is loading message. It shows all the students. If I write n, and it shows n, whoever has the n, right? So if you write n a, then it just shows this one. Let's say that if I search for S and it shows S, whoever has the S, and it doesn't matter whether uppercase or lowercase. That's why we make it to lowercase, both the search string and then the student name, so that it basically match with all of them, irrespective of their case. Okay. Now if I write O, it just shows the Jackson. And then if I click here, it shows that the details of the students. Okay. So our search is done. It is an interactive search based on your typing. It shows that who has this keyword, and then based on your next keyword, it will find that who has the next match. Okay, so that's it. And you see that couple of error happened, but I fixed in front of you. So you know that when you type, error can happen, but based on that error, you need to go and dig and find out the error and then fix it. Okay, so that's it. I hope you like this video, and then in the next video we are going to show some more routes, like how to insert a new student from the form, right?